Good afternoon, everyone. Let's take a look at John chapter 8 with respect to the woman caught in adultery. And we know this story very well, but there's deep implications with respect to the Old Covenant, the New Covenant, salvation, and obedience in here. Let's pick up the story in John chapter 8, verse 2, where Jesus is teaching in the temple, and the scribes and the Pharisees bring him a woman in his midst and say, this woman was caught in the very act of adultery. And according to the law of Moses, we don't have a choice. We have to stone her. Now, this is to try to catch Jesus, to see if he would defy the law of Moses. What do you say, young master? Well, he doesn't say anything. He reaches down and he writes something in the dust of the floor and rises up and he says, he that is without sin, according to the law of Moses, please be my guest, cast the first stone. Well, he reaches back down and he writes something else on the floor twice. So it says by their conscience they were convicted and left. So if they wanted to condemn her according to the law of Moses, it seems that he was going to condemn them by the same law. So as we see from Leviticus, regardless of what their sin, it says the adulterer and the adulteress had to be condemned and stoned. So, my friends, it says by their conscience they were convicted and left. So can you see the Old Covenant and the New Covenant here? The Old Covenant with its condemnation says, you are destined to be stoned. You are guilty. And Jesus offers this woman pardon. He says, where are your accusers? Well, they're not here, Lord. And he says, I don't accuse you either. I don't condemn you. That's the New Covenant. So the Old Covenant law had to flee in the presence of pardon. But he does say, go and sin no more. Is that based upon the law of Moses? No. The go and sin no more is an element of gratitude, not to gain salvation, but because we have salvation. We've been offered salvation just like she was. So friends, when he says go and sin no more in this new covenant, it is because we're showing thankfulness, and the good works that we do are showing that we love Christ, not to gain salvation, but we've had an interaction with Christ. The old covenant, with its rocks and stones, has to leave in the presence of the pardon of the Savior.